Hello and welcome to Savage Unleash, where we do a deep dive into some of our products from the 2022 lineup. In this episode, we'll be unleashing two of our latest and greatest machines, the Legion 7i and the Legion Slim 7i. We'll be talking about the new slim design, the gorgeous screen, what goes on under the surface, killer Wi-Fi by Intel, the battery life, and the Lenovo Vantage software. And oh, we've got a special guest joining us, so be sure you stick around. You really don't want to miss this. As you can see, these two machines are a sight to behold. They are slim and sleek, but underneath these beautiful exteriors lie powerful behemoths. This is the future we are moving towards. Gorgeously slim, yet extremely powerful. The slim and portable form factor is perfect for all your creative needs, making it the best of both worlds, where you have a powerful machine you can take with you everywhere. And all the materials used in this machine are cutting edge and premium, something which you guys have been asking for in all our products. And on top of it all, we managed to snag the prestigious IF Design Award for these 2022 products. We're also proud of the screens we have in our models this year. They're colourful and bright, like how the very best screens should be. But it's always better to see it rather than hear someone talk about it. We have 165Hz refresh rates and brightness up to 500 nits, with 100% sRGB color accuracy. On top of that, the screens are also individually color calibrated in factory with their own color profile. We even have the TUV certification for low blue light. A cool feature we have this year that I'm excited about: replaceable keycaps. Both models are capable of replacing the keys, and for the Legion 7i, we're including the toolkit with ceramic WASD keys, which gives you a whole different experience when using them. The toolkit comes with extra scissor switches in case you need to replace them as well. And it's super easy to swap the keycaps, as you can see. And there you go. Next, we have killer Wi-Fi by Intel in this year's models. It prioritizes data packets on the machines, minimizing lag and latency for your high-level gaming needs. The beauty of these machines is not just on the surface, as you will see. They're packing a heck of a punch despite their slim designs. Let's start with Cold Front 4.0. Thinner fan blades and more powerful 12-volt fans give you increased airflow and a lower fan noise. And with the new phase-changing thermal compound, overall heat dissipation has been greatly improved as well. On the Slim 7i, we have heat pipes which help us get a total TDP of 125 watts. Add to that up to 24 GB of memory, 1 SODIMM, supporting 2 SSDs, and you have more than enough power for such a slim machine. For the 7i, we have vapor chamber, 2 memory slots, 2 SSD slots, and a total TDP of 205 watts. And if you are thinking about overclocking or performance tuning, more on that later. This year, we have 99.9 watt-hour for our batteries. Fun fact, this is the maximum battery capacity for a laptop to be allowed on an airplane. With this, you can expect long hours of usage, but there are ways to fully optimize them. Let me give you some tips. 1. If you're not gaming, the 165 refresh rate is going to drain your battery fast. So use Function and R keys to change the panel refresh rate to 60Hz. 2. Press Function and Q to switch to quiet mode. It's tuned to make the most out of your battery life and fan noise, so it's suitable for any environment. And 3. Use Hybrid mode, a personal favorite of mine, which can be toggled in our Lenovo Vantage. When you're plugged in this mode, the machine will use both graphics cards for best performance. And when you're running off the battery, it will automatically switch to the iGPU, saving you battery life. With the high-capacity battery and all these tips, you can expect up to 7 hours of use on your Legion 7i and over 8 hours on your Legion Slim 7i. And if that's not enough, you have access to Rapid Charge, which charges to 80% in just 30 minutes. Now, I want to talk more about the Lenovo Vantage app. What I love about it is that it gives you the ultimate control over your machine with lots of customizable features all in one place. As shown earlier, you have the access to different thermal modes which you can easily switch between. But the star of the show here is Spectrum, customizable down to the individual keys with preset effects. And the one we want to show you is Legion Aurora Sync, which syncs with what's on your screen. And last but not least, the GPU overclock options are available in Vantage. You could toggle it on and off with the default settings or fine-tune the clock speeds to your own liking. On the Legion 7i, with the Intel 12th Gen HX series processors, you are able to overclock and performance tune them as well. And speaking of which, it's time to bring on that special guest. He's an expert performance tuner, a YouTuber, and an overall cool guy. All the way from down under is the one, the only Dino.
Thanks, Clifford. Hi guys, my name is Dino. I work for Intel. I also have a YouTube channel called Dino S22. I usually do a lot of overclocking with liquid nitrogen and things like that, but I do desktop PCs and in fact laptops as well. Lenovo sent me a Legion 7i laptop based on Intel's Core i9-12900HX to do some testing, and I've had about 2 or 3 weeks with this device now, so I've been able to do a little bit of tweaking and tuning, and I really want to pass on some of that knowledge to you today to give you a few tips to get the most out of your device. But let's talk about this device first, and let's talk about this amazing Intel processor that we've worked with Lenovo to put into this device. So the Core i9-12900HX is a completely new type of processor. It's the best of the best. It's the beast in the range too. And of course, Lenovo also has the H series processors in the Legion 7i Slim laptops too. These processors are based on Intel's 12th generation performance hybrid architecture using performance cores, efficient cores, and Intel Thread Director, which basically allows for use of the right core on the right task at the right time. Very clever piece of technology which improves user experience tremendously. So you're getting the best of both worlds. The high single-threaded performance, think browsing, think maybe even Photoshop and things like that, think gaming, and then of course the high multi-threaded performance by combining performance and efficient cores. So think AutoCAD, think Photoshop, those types of applications, right? Lenovo engineers have done a really cool job defining very clear power modes, which translate to excellent user experience for you. So to switch between these power modes, you basically just use a function Q key on the device. So let's do that live. So we are now going between quiet mode, auto mode, which uses artificial intelligence to optimize performance and cooling, which is very cool. And then, of course, my favorite, the performance mode itself. So what we're going to do now is I want to set a little bit of a baseline. So I've downloaded an application called Intel Extreme Tuning Utility, or Intel XTU. We're going to run a couple of benchmarks just to get you to understand the performance, multi-threaded performance that this laptop has as it is out of the box, right, when you receive it at home. So we're running this benchmark. You can see all the telemetry running on the screen. You can see the frequency, the voltage, etc., etc. We're going to get a score. This is a very quick benchmark. So we're going to get a score. The score will roughly be about 7K in performance mode. We are now going to switch to the quiet mode, and we're going to run the same benchmark. I just want to demonstrate to you the importance of tuning your system for high threaded workload, or content creation type workload, maybe even gaming because you're using higher frequency and stuff like that. So what you're going to be seeing in a low performance mode, in a quiet mode, is a lower score in this benchmark, and essentially this is the performance that's tuned for very quiet system. You see it only runs at about half of the temperature that it normally runs in the high performance mode. It's a laptop, so you're going to get much bigger, much longer battery life in this mode. But when you want to do some gaming, you want to do some content creating, you want to do some AutoCAD, whatever it is, performance mode it is. All right, so let's do some performance tuning. So before we start performance tuning, I just want to say not all silicon is made the same. So CPU's overclockability can vary from CPU to CPU, so your results may vary as well. Okay, just keep that in mind. Let's actually dig in and let me show you what I've done here for tuning to. So we're going to go to Intel Extreme Utility. We're going to go to Advanced Tuning option on the left. We're going to find Core Voltage Offset. Now, what we're going to do is reduce or undervolt this CPU. So what's going to happen is the voltage will reduce, the frequency will largely remain the same, and this is where that silicon quality can have an impact. So if you undervolt pretty hard and the CPU clocks are not reaching. Maybe your CPU isn't as good as someone else's, but I've tested 2 Legion 7Is and I was getting similar results. So I would say that we probably would expect similar performance. So what we're going to do is we're going to set minus 0.1 core voltage offset. We're going to hit apply, and then we're going to go back into the benchmark mode just to test that performance again. So keep an eye on the telemetry. You're going to be seeing the CPU holding that frequency a little bit longer up in the turbo range, which is a good thing. That's because we've undervolted the CPU. It is running a little bit cooler than it was in that high performance mode at stock. So the beauty of HX processor is we are allowed to do that sort of tuning. So the power is at your fingertips, I should say. We've got a score now. We've just reached in middle to high 7K. So we've increased the performance. The operating frequency has increased as well as a result of that overvolting essentially, or held that turbo for longer. So there you have it, guys and girls. We've just undervolted, made the laptop a little bit cooler. We've increased the performance as well. So if you're a content creator, if you're using Photoshop, if you're encoding video, if you are using AutoCAD, anything that requires a lot of power, you can reduce the amount of time with a HX type processor because it allows you that tweakability and tuning. If you're a gamer, you can increase your frames per second because these will operate much faster as well. So all in all, using an Intel Core i9-1299HX in Legion 7i, or even using a Core i9H in Legion 7, great choice for devices. Intel's 12th gen, great performance. Of course, my recommendation is the HX because you're getting the best of the best. So there you have it. Back to you, Clifford.
Thank you, Dino, for joining us on the show and sharing your masterful experimentation and insightful findings. This does show how really powerful the Legion 7i can be when it's maximized to its full potential. That's it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into the Legion 7i and Legion Slim 7i and got to know more about what they're capable of. To find out even more, head on over to legion.lenovo.com. I'm Clifford. Thanks for watching. Until next time.